Iran's supreme leader acknowledges thousands of people have been killed in the recent protests. Joining us now with the latest is foreign policy expert Ron B. Ron, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. Just yesterday, hackers took over Iranian state television and they played a message that was recorded from the exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, telling protesters, reiterating what President Trump said, that help is on the way, and urging the army to do the right thing and be with the people. Their responsibility is to be with the people, not to defend the Islamic regime. How do you think the current regime is handling all this?
Not very well, because it's on the verge of collapse economically, politically, and when you get a message like that across the airways, hopefully the military also listens.
An aircraft carrier, U.S. aircraft carrier, we taled about this just a few days ago when we had you on,
yes,
is headed to that area.
Yes, the USS Abraham Lincoln, who's based here in San Diego, but it's an entire strike group. We already have a lot of military personnel and bases in the Middle East, but the sending of the Lincoln, I think, is important on a day where we're, interestingly enough, honoring MLK Jr., where he gave that great speech at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, I Have a Dream. Well, now you have an aircraft carrier named after Lincoln headed towards the Middle East to hopefully fulfill a dream of the Iranian people, and that is to get the Iranian mob off its back.
What does it mean for this aircraft carrier to be headed in that direction?
Well, it's a statement of power projection, but it's also the possibility of an attack against those oppressors who have been killing the protesters in the streets. And I think that's why it's really headed there, not just to make a statement, but also to assist those on the ground.
You just mentioning the Ayatollah and the leader of that regime. Over the weekend, President Trump and the Ayatollah exchanging words. President Trump said that it was time for Iran to have a new leadership, calling the Ayatollah a sick man. He responds and says that President Trump is a criminal.
Well, the war of words has begun, but this has happened before. But the real tragedy is in the streets, where the people who want a better life have been slaughtered. And I think President Trump, when he says that he's going to help, meant it. It doesn't mean immediate help in this case, because the carrier group still has a few days to get there. But also you have to protect the 25 bases and our allies in the region that could be attacked as a result.
You know, the internet's been shut down for quite some time now. There's some talk that they want to continue to do this and
through March,
through possibly March. I mean, there's no way of really knowing what happened within that country over the past few weeks.
Well, there's some bootleg Starlink terminals that have been smuggled in. That's where some of the information is getting out, but it's still hard to get information. It's a large country, as you know, 90 million people, 3 times the size of Iraq. So it's a very difficult thing to get information out if the government doesn't want you to have it.
When this first started, the information was coming out, was a few thousand people killed, and it went up and it went up. And this morning, you know, pretty accurate reporting is that over 16,000 people have been killed. 330,000 people have been injured. Over 1,000 people have lost an eye, and this is just
20,000 arrested.
And this is just the numbers that we've been
we know of. And their estimates. This is all guesstimates, but what this tells you is this is the biggest crisis that the Islamic Republic has faced since 1979, when it came into power, and it's high time that it did.
Yeah, but the Ayatollah blaming President Trump for these deaths.
Well, you know, when somebody points a finger, there's always 3 fingers pointing back at you. So I think the Ayatollah, if he were honest, would have to take a look at what went wrong in his own country.
Let's go through the next few days. It's very hard to predict. Many people waiting to see what the next move would be from the United States, from Iran, from surrounding countries. Walk us through what you think we might see this week.
Well, what we might see is some sort of kinetic or military attack against the oppressors that are the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, their thugs, the Basij, the paramilitary groups, the law enforcement that have been, the morality police that have been collecting people, shooting people, going after their relatives, you name it. I think that would send a message to the protesters that they have help. There will probably be cyber attacks against the computer systems and the electricity of those that are organizing the repression, and that could go from there. But it's up to the president, who has decided what options he's going to take, but he has publicly said help is on the way and it's time for new leadership. You put those things together, I think something will happen.
Something will happen. Ron B., thank you. We appreciate your time.